Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to End of Day Update. This morning, I told my subscribers in the pre-market update, we were here around 9 o'clock. I said this is near second standard deviation. You see these three lines. We were in the middle, and it's always a good time to take profits. I said minimum target should be this white line, which is the neutral line, which is a no trade line. So people shorted here, and then we can see easily we made 1.2%. Same thing on US 1500. We were gapping up, and I said the minimum target is going to be around white line, so easily 0.68%. Also, I told everybody, like on the SPY, if I go to 1 hour chart, I said we are going on a gap up. So ideally, I really would like to have this gap fill before we go higher. If you go to 1 hour chart, you can see what's happening today. This is today's candle. You can see we were gap up. We opened right here and we sold off, right? So you can see how we sold off, and that is a very good sign. We sold off 0.8% here, triple Qs. We were opening on a gap up. I said I really would like to see this gap, and you can see what's happening. We had a bullish falling wedge. We fake out, we broke out, and now today you can see very nicely just doing the back test. Okay, so it's a very bullish sign. And you can see we had a gap up. We opened right here, even on Nasdaq, sold off heavily, and exactly I said same thing to my subscribers. So easy profits here. So if you want to get updates like these pre-market before market opens, you can easily make 1% profit throughout the day. And even in first hour you make profits, and you can buy put options, and you know exactly based on these zones you want to take put option or call option easily pre-market. I share this with you. If you're in green lines, it's better to take same day call options, and if you're in red line, it's better to take put options same day, and then as soon as your profit exits. So just subscribe. It's just $7 a month. It's one trade can pay subscription fees for whole year. It's very cheap, and I think you will be very beneficial. Also, the other thing is I did a live Bitcoin zones, which I think there's a live channel going on right now. If you want me to change that to any other, like S&P 500 futures, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, Russell 2000, gold, or any other commodity, let me know. Put a comment there at the bottom, and whoever have higher comment, I will change the live video. So that will help you to guide trades as well in the live channel. All right, so now where we are. So US 500 in the middle, which is a neutral zone. Let's quickly hide these lines. And let's go to the long-term chart, which I showed you yesterday. So let's put some indicators on. Let's see, we can get some of these on NASDAQ 100. You can see this is weekly chart. And you can see I was telling you guys we're going to go in this channel between green line and red line, gather energy and then bounce. In a bull market, we always go between green lines and red lines, gather energy and bounce, gather energy and bounce, gather energy, bounce, gather energy, bounce, gather energy, bounce. A lot of times we don't touch red line, but at minimum we touch green lines. You can see here, even if I go as far as here, we can see a lot of times we touch red line, then bounce, touch red lines and bounce. Even here, I can go way far away. You can see a lot of times we touch. So I think most of the times we touch a green line, which we did right now. I don't know, we can go as low as here to the red line. We can still go lower. Just be mindful of that. So from today's close, we can still go 6% lower, or this is it. We're going to new all-time highs, okay? And I do think by end of this year, we're going to break this previous all-time high, and we'll be, by end of December, we'll be like at a new high, more than 12% higher. All right, so that's what I'm thinking. So make your trade decision based on what you think is right for you, but this is what I'm expecting. And let's go to daily chart, and let's go to SPY. So this is daily analysis, and you can see what's happening. If I go to 1 hour chart, like I said before, we had a gap up, closed the gap, and actually right now there's this slight gap here. We cannot really see, a very minor gap here. So there are two targets for me. My first target is 446, second target is 456. You can see this massive gap. This will definitely be filled. So from here, first target is 1.88, second target is around 4% away. So if I go back to daily chart, so there are two possible scenarios. We go through this yellow line, fill this gap, then October is going to be bearish, fill this bottom gap, and then we go higher to new all-time high, or this is it, this is the bottom, and now we are heading straight higher to new all-time highs. The only thing which bothers me is I don't see any divergence. What that means is I would really like to see a new low formed with some divergence on, like I will show you here what I'm really looking for. You can see here how we had a new low. with divergence. RSI was higher, PPO was higher. This is what I'm looking for. I don't see that, so quite possible we can get another low and then we go higher, or we go higher and then we make a new low compared to this low later on, and that will be on a divergence. So these are the two scenarios I'm looking for, but no matter how it goes, we'll be here. So even if you're buying this dip, just be, if you can hold for few months until December. Right now it's end of August, September, October, 4 months, you should be here. Okay, you should be making a new, we should be making a new all-time high. And triple Q, same thing. I showed you 1 hour chart going down on a bullish falling wedge, broke down. This was a trap, bear trap. Then we covered everything, and today also I told my subscribers, if we were here in the morning, I said if we don't fill this gap, we start filling this upper gap. I'm really worried because eventually we'll come down to fill this gap, but good that what happened, we filled this gap and we are just now back testing this trend line. So everything is fine. I think we're ready for another massive bounce very soon. NVDA earnings is tomorrow, so maybe that's going to be defining momentum for tech stocks. So we'll see how that goes. And let's quickly look at Dow Jones, which was not that impressive. It was down 0.5%. And let's see if still I don't see any divergences on Dow Jones. You can see RSI and PPO showing nothing. So let's see, maybe it wants to fill this gap here. If I go to 1 hour chart, let's see. You can see this gap. Actually, this gap is a little bit down here because TradingView keeps messing up with the software. So this is the gap here. So I think it's quite possible we can go down and fill this gap and then go higher. If we go down and fill this gap, then I would like to see some divergences built up. IWM, same thing. There's a big gap here. So the good thing is IWM is holding this trend line, which is Russell. So let's see from here, are we ready for a bounce? But long term, just follow S&P 500. However we go, we will be probably near all-time high. So from here, I think Russell looks very good trade. Almost going to be like around 8% higher. So Russell is looking very promising for the long-term hold. All right, so gold, actually let's go to VIX. VIX, my target is here. You can see this purple line, this gap, and you can see cycle lows are coming here. So I'm looking for this gap to fill before we go higher. And let's quickly look at gold. You can see gold broke out. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see very nicely what happened. Exactly perfect. You can see this is a perfect chart if somebody wants to learn how to trade. So you can see price going lower. You can see momentum is going higher, RSI is going higher, and we can draw a trend line and look what happened. We broke out, back test, and now we're going higher. Okay, so gold is looking very solid. Looks like bottom is in on gold, and yeah, things are looking good. We broke down of this trend line, and now looks like there is this gap. That's the only thing which is bothering me. So are we going to go down? You can see even we have made a new low on PPO with higher momentum. RSI does not have that, but 1 hour has it. So let's see how it goes. But as of now, I think we're getting ready for this back test. Gold is looking very promising. Gold miners are looking promising, and you can see here, if we did not make a new low, I don't see any divergence on gold miners, but I think let's see 1 hour chart. You can see 1 hour chart is showing divergence. You can see it going lower on higher momentum on PPO and RSI, and now there are multiple gaps to fill from here. Gold miners, first gap is around 3.5% away, and then second gap from here is around 5% away. Third gap is around 12%, and fourth gap is around 15%. So a lot of upside on gold miners. They are almost at the bottom. One thing to see is Newmont Mine, which is the biggest gold miner. This is forming a bottom, and you can see how it's making a new low with higher momentum on PPO and RSI. So gold is looking really bullish to me. And again, this is the biggest miner at new 52, almost near 52 weeks low. A lot of upside potential. You can see all these gaps to fill to the upside. So I'm really interested in gold miners right now. Dollar, I would really like dollar to go down for gold miners to and Bitcoin to pick up momentum. The reason I think gold miners should go down, if I go to short-term chart, you can see 1 minute chart, you can see it's in the sell zone. So this is very good. I think dollar will go down, and that's going to help gold miners and equity market to go higher. So this is what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for weakness in dollar, and that's going to help drive strength in gold and commodities. And let's quickly go to I think triple Qs, same thing, back test, looking for a bounce. So a bounce, we can either go to new all-time highs, green line, or we're going to bounce, find resistance right here on the red line, then go lower and then go higher. So these are two scenarios. Silver, very nicely holding this trend line. You can see here support, 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 looking for a bounce. I don't know if we're going to go back lower again or not, or we're going straight higher. We will see, but for now we're going higher. Buy on the bounce of this trend line. Natural gas right on this trend line. This is where you want to buy on the support. This is where you want to buy natural gas, crude oil, buy the dip. Little bit weakness, but yeah, by the dip, looking very solid right now. And Toronto Stock Exchange very weak, but let's see on 1 hour chart, do we see any divergences building? You can see exactly, you can see new lows making, but some momentum is building higher. So this is why you want to keep an eye on. You can see very high making a new low. RSI and PPO very oversold and showing momentum higher. So I think there are multiple gaps here. So XIC is the ETF you can buy. First gap is around 2.89, 3.56 and 4% away. I'll show you which ETF to buy if you want to trade Canadian index. This is the ETF XIC. You can see here multiple gaps. So this is what you want to trade if you want to trade Canadian index. Hang Seng index, you can see 1 hour chart going lower. Tried to break out with Baidu earnings, but then sold off again. Wait for break of this trend line, white trend line. Higher momentum is building up, so I think it's getting ready for a pump anytime. But as long as it's up below this white line, you have to be very careful. So let's wait for a break of this trend line. Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin is right on the support area. If I draw a line here, let me see if I can get the right box here. You can see right here, this whole area here. This is a support area, right? So if I draw a green line and fill it with green, you can see this whole support area. One daily chart, I still very oversold. I do not see any reversal yet. 1 hour chart, let's see. Yeah, we did make a new low. You can see exactly what I was looking for. You made a new low with divergence on 1 hour chart. So this is a good sign. This is like momentum is building higher. So you can see PPO going higher. 1 hour chart, RSI is also going higher on 1 hour chart. So you can say new low with higher momentum. So I think this is probably looks like a base formation. Very good support area. So I think it's getting ready. I think Bitcoin is getting ready for a pump. So let's see how it goes. Ethereum still did not make a new low, but it will do as soon as same as Bitcoin. Again, same. It's in support area. Broke down. So I think let's see. It will follow Bitcoin. But this is where you want to buy. This is a lot of support. Broke out. Support here. Broke out. Support here. So this is where you want to buy and support. Bonds new low, but yeah, this is the whole area of support, right? This is where you would like to buy before it bounces high. You can see the good thing is this higher momentum on PPO and RSI, which is a very good sign. So let's see if we can recover and bounce. Copper right bouncing now, right on the support. This is the way. This is where you need to buy copper. Copper looks like bottomed. CPER is a ETF. Palladium also same thing. Was going down on bullish falling wedge, broke out, back test 1, back test 2, again on the support and bouncing. Wheat, same thing. You can see bullish falling wedge, broke out, back test, broke out, again second back test. Now getting ready for a bounce and right where in the support area. Corn trying to do its best, not able to go above this resistance area. So broke down, back test 1, again back test. Now I really want this to go above this resistance area. Let's see how it goes. Soybeans right in the buy zone. This is where you want to buy soybeans, right in the support zone. SOYB is the ETF. Sugar, same thing. You can see on this trend line. So this is secondary trend line right on the support right now. So I'm going to get rid of this for now. I'm going to maybe highlight it as a dotted. Well, leave it there for now. So sugar made another secondary trend line right on the support. So look to buy off support. Let's quickly keep moving. We covered Newmont Mine. Let's look at sectors. XLK was gap up. This gap is filled, so I can close this now. There are other multiple gaps to the top. This is tech sector. XLE by the dip. Looking for dip to buy. There are multiple gaps, so keep an eye on that. So look to buy on the gap fill. That will be acting as a support. XLV looks like it wants to fill this gap. There's a gap here. So let's see if we come back lower and then go higher. That's what it looks like. XLU utilities below the trend line. So as long as it's below, the good thing is it's on higher momentum. So look to buy utilities sectors. you can buy, and NEE is one of the ones, the biggest I think utility stock. And this is also, you can see same thing is happening. You can see higher momentum on PPO and RSI, and you can see now it's turning, green line is turning towards upside. So this is also like a bottom forming process. Also dividends are coming very soon, 0.468, looking very strong here. Industrial stocks again are looking a bit weak, but there are multiple gaps to the upside, so eventually there's also a massive gap here. I think that's way lower, but I don't think it's going to be filled soon. Looking for higher prices. Real estate sector right on this trend line. You can see this is where you want to buy, right on the support. Financials, there's a gap here. I'm not sure if it's going to go all the way down now or it's going to go higher like I showed you on S&P 500. So we'll see how it goes. You can go higher, fill this gap, then come down, or you can go down, fill this gap, and then go higher. So no matter how it goes, it's going to fill this gap. KRE is looking very weak. I think it wants to fill this gap, which is like now very close. This is regional bank ETF. So as of now, it's almost 1.6% away. Fill this gap and then go higher. Tesla was higher this morning, gap up, and right on this trend line you can see support. Yesterday it broke out. This was a fake out move. It recovered trend line and again closed above this trend line, so very bullish. So there are multiple gaps to the upside. Let's see, maybe it will fill those gaps before we go down. Just be mindful if it breaks down, there are also multiple gaps for downside as well, but you want to buy on support, and it's on support right now. Netflix bouncing on support, nothing changed. You can see very nicely bouncing on support. Google again on support, near support line, just bouncing nicely, consolidating. Could be a flag before it breaks out. Microsoft trying its best to go above this trend line. I would really want this to recover before I get bullish, but yeah, you can wait for this trend line to go above. But if you're a long-term holder, this is still a good buy. I think since all-time high, let's see how low it is as of now, almost 12%. Okay. Meta broke down of this trend line. This was bearish rising wedge, broke down. Let's see, does it want to do back test, or there's another gap here? I'm not sure about Meta. Apple gap up. Still, this gap is not filled. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see gap up. Still this gap is not filled, so maybe there will be some weakness tomorrow. Fill this gap, then go higher. There are multiple gaps on Apple. So as of today, the first gap is 7.44% away, second gap is 10% away. So if you can hold for a few months, I think these gaps will be filled. Amazon right on the support line, you want to buy on support. Snowflakes, I think earnings, is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow, end of day. We'll see. It again gapped up. There's also a gap here. There are also multiple gaps up, so I don't know, it's going to be 50-50. If it opens on the support here, that will be a great area to buy. NVDA also gapped up and made a new all-time high, then sold off. There's a gap here, multiple gaps. I'll be very careful on the earnings. This big gap is bothering me, so if earnings are bad, this gap is going to be filled. Just be mindful of that. AMD neutral, nothing much right now. Let's see if we can draw some kind of trend line on AMD. Let's see. Yeah, you can draw something like this. Okay, on a trend line here, and really want AMD to go back to this trend line to get bullish again. Let's see, yeah, something like this. So wait for this to recover. It tried to recover and today sold off. So we really want AMD to recover this trend line before we can bullish again. And I think that's about it. I already covered Hang Seng Index. Let's quickly look at China. Yeah, I already covered it. This was going on a higher momentum. So let's quickly look at zones. Quick zones for tomorrow's trade. This is live market, US 500. Look to sell above 4417, buy below 4371. Nasdaq getting closer to sell zone 15015. Look to sell here, buy here below 14805. Dow Jones coming closer to neutral zone. Look to buy below 34256, sell here. Russell 2000, the neutral zone, look to sell above 1868 and buy below 1844. Gold is getting closer to sell zone. Let's see, look to sell above 1902, buy 1890. Gold miners, let me add extended trading hours. Gold miners are looking very bullish, but it's going in a selling zone. So I think let's see how far it goes. There are multiple gaps. So Let's see, I'm still bullish on gold miners, so this is short term. For short term, if we open here tomorrow morning above 28.18, look to sell, and then once the gap is filled, then you can buy again. Dollar, I said, in the sell zone, looking to sell off. Triple Qs, Nasdaq in the neutral zone. Follow futures to trade triple Qs and SPY. Let's quickly look at Bitcoin. There's a live channel going on Bitcoin. You can see how nicely it touched the sell zone, now selling off, coming back to the neutral zone. Ethereum, same thing, in the buy zone right now. So this is the perfect time to buy crypto. Let's look at stocks which are in buy zone. Let's look at sectors. XLK in the neutral, XLE closer to buy zone, XLV closer to buy zone, XLI closer to buy zone. Financials are already in the buy zone. KRA regional bank ETF is in the buy zone. Let's see what stocks sold. Meta is still away, Amazon is still away, NVDA is still away, AMD still away, Intel away, ARKK is away. So I think industrial stocks might be near the buy zone. Let's quickly review them. Disney is still away, UPS is in the buy zone, UPS is in the buy zone, Nike is in the buy zone. Somebody want to check me Shopify is in the neutral zone in the middle. Let's quickly look at other things. Nike I checked, Honeywell above, Starbucks in the buy zone, Uber is still higher, Thales in the buy zone, BCE is in the buy zone, Costco is in the buy zone, Walmart bounced, Coca-Cola in the buy zone, BRK near buy zone, UNH is in the buy zone, ABBV in the buy zone, CVS in the buy zone, Pfizer away. And let's quickly look at China. MCHI is in the buy zone, Alibaba bouncing now, Baidu bounced, and I think those about it. And all the banks are in the buy zone. BMO is in the buy zone. All these Canadian banks in the buy zone. Royal Bank is in the buy zone. TD is in the buy zone. BNS is in the buy zone. CM is in the buy zone. National Bank is in the buy zone. Manulife is in the buy zone. Sun Life is in the buy zone, and all American banks too. JP Morgan, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America. Let's look at Enbridge is also in the buy zone. CNQ higher, XOM is also higher. Let's look at some growth stocks. SE is in the buy zone. AEHR is in the buy zone. Plug is in the buy zone. Target is in the buy zone. Zoom is higher. Nikola is in the buy zone. Riot is in the buy zone. LCID is in the buy zone, and NEO is in the buy zone. Okay guys, good luck for tomorrow, and again showing you the levels latest, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.